Hello everyone. Welcome to my fourth tutorial of Relational Database in Practice in msaccessdbms tutorial series. This tutorial is all about table creation in msaccess. Database model that we are going to implement in Retail Shop app are explained to you tutorial 3. If you have not seen, then please see that tutorial first because same database model and relationship we are going to do in msaccess. One very obvious question you may have: what is table? In a simple word, table is the container to keep the information. To create a table in Microsoft Access involves defining the structure of the table, specifying the fields, and setting properties for each field. In tutorial 3, I have already explained structure of the table and its fields. Each field is associated with data type and properties. This I will teach you while creating table. So, let's jump on msaccess. To open msaccess, search Access in your PC. If msaccess is installed in your PC, then it will appear, otherwise you have to install msaccess. As I am teaching fundamental of msaccess, so any version 2007 onwards are good for practice. You have to click Access app shown in search. It will look like this. You have to select the blank database and click once on it. Dialog box will pop up. It will ask you database name and you may change location of the file where you want to save file by Browse button. Then click Create button. It will open blank database. If any blank table is open, you close it. Now, your screen will look like this. All the user interface is like MS Excel because it is the family of Microsoft. But, it is not the Excel. It is the Relational Database DBMS tools to design and develop app for small and medium business model. Here you get the ribbons. You may ask, what is ribbons? I'll explain. Ribbon is the toolbar that runs along the top of the application window. It's a central part of the user interface, providing a set of organized tabs, each containing groups of related commands. The ribbon is designed to make it easier for users to access various features and functionalities within the application. These are the key components of ribbons. Very first component is tabs. The ribbon is divided into tabs, each representing a specific set of commands or functions. For example, common tabs in Access include Home, Create, External Data, Database Tools, and more. Then next component is groups. Each tab is further organized into groups. Groups gather related commands together. For instance, the Home tab might have groups like Views, Clipboard, Sort and Filter, etc. Then next is commands. Commands are the individual buttons, options, or tools within each group. They perform specific actions or open dialogues for further configuration. Then we have Quick Access Toolbar, located above the ribbon. Quick Access Toolbar provides quick access to commonly used commands. You can customize it to include the commands you use frequently. To create table, click Create tab in ribbon. Go to Tables group and click on the Table Design icon. This will open the Table Design view. In the Table Design view, you'll see a grid with columns such as field name, data type, and description. Before jumping to create table, I will briefly explain fields, data type and field properties. This knowledge is very much required for table creation. In a database, a field is the smallest unit of data. It represents a single piece of information within a record. For instance, in a database table that stores information about customers, you might have fields such as customer ID, first name, last name, contact number, and city. Fields have their own properties. For instance, first name has these properties. First name is short text data type and it cannot be blank. Take another example. MRP field in product table. It is number field. It may have 2 decimal. But very important property of MRP is, it cannot be null, it cannot be text. Here, we have to set data required property yes, and data validation rule MRP is greater than 0. In this way, user will be restricted to fill in wrong data in MRP field. So, let me explain you data type in table. In a simple word, data type is a classification that specifies which type of value a variable or column can hold. It defines the nature of the data that can be stored in a particular field within a database table. These are the data type MS Access supports. Short text data type is used for storing alphanumeric characters with a maximum length of 255 characters. Long text data type is suitable for storing large amounts of text data. It can hold up to 65,535 characters. Numbered data type represents numeric data, including integers and decimals. You can specify the field size to determine the range of values. Date-time data type used to store date and time values. You can use this data type to track dates, times, or both. Currency data type, specifically designed for storing monetary values. It supports fixed point numbers with 4 decimal places. Auto-numbered data type generates a unique identifier automatically for each new record added to the table. Yes/no data type represents Boolean values. It can be either yes or no. OLE object data type allows you to embed or link to objects from other programs that support object linking and embedding. Hyperlink data type stores hyperlinks to websites, files, or other resources. Attachment data type used for storing multiple attachments, such as images or documents. Calculated data type represents a field whose values are calculated based on an expression you define. Lookup wizard data type creates a field with a predefined set of values. You can choose values from a list or a combo box. These data types cover a wide range of scenarios, and choosing the right one depends on the nature of the data you are storing. When designing tables in MS Access, selecting the appropriate data type ensures data integrity and helps optimize storage space and query performance. I hope you are with me and things are not going above your head. Okay, so far so good. Now, each fields are associated with properties. Let me explain field properties. Field properties are attributes or settings associated with each field in a table. These properties define various aspects of how data is stored, validated, and presented within the database. When you design a table in Microsoft Access, you can set field properties to customize the behavior of each field. These are some common field properties available in MS Access. Field name itself is one of the property. It is the name you give to the field. It is how you refer to the specific attribute represented by the field. Data type is one of the property of the field. It specifies the type of data that the field can store, such as text, number, date, time, yes/no, etc. Field size is the property for text and memo fields. It defines the maximum number of characters that can be stored in a text or memo field. Format is the property for date, time, numeric, and currency fields. It specifies how the data should be displayed. For example, you can set a specific date format or choose the number of decimal places for a numeric field. Input mask is also one of the property of fields. It enforces a specific pattern for data entry, such as phone numbers or postal codes. Next is caption. It defines a user-friendly name for the field. The caption is used in forms and reports and can be different from the actual field name. Then, next is default value. It sets a default value for the field. When a new record is added, the field is populated with the default value if no other value is specified. Next is validation rule. Validation rule is a condition or expression that you define to validate the data entered into a field. It can be used to enforce specific constraints on the data. For example, you might set a validation rule on a price field to ensure that the entered price is greater than 0. This rule means that any value entered in the price field must be greater than 0. You can set more complex validation rules using a combination of operators, functions, and values. Then, validation text property. Validation text is a user-friendly error message that is displayed when the data entered does not meet the criteria specified in the validation rule. It helps users understand why their input is not accepted. For the price field example mentioned earlier, you might set the validation text as, price must be greater than 0. This message will be shown to the user if they try to enter a value less than or equal to 0 in the price field. Then, next is required property. It specifies whether a value is required for the field. If set to yes, the field cannot be left blank. Then next is allow zero length property. It specifies whether zero length strings, empty strings, are allowed in text or memo fields. Then, next is index. Index is a data structure that improves the speed of data retrieval operations on a database table. The index provides a quick lookup mechanism, allowing the database management system to locate specific rows in a table efficiently. Indexes are analogous to the index of a book, where you can quickly find information about a specific topic without reading the entire book. Next is decimal places property. This is applicable to numeric and currency fields. It is used to set the number of decimal places for numeric and currency fields. So, setting these properties appropriately is crucial for creating a well-structured and functional database in MS Access. Now, you got all the fundamental knowledge required to create table in MS Access. Thumb rule is, define the field name, choose the data type from data type dropdown and set the appropriate properties. For demonstration purpose, I am creating customer table for you. I have taken first field name, customer ID for customer table. I have taken auto number from data type dropdown. And I am setting it a primary key by just right-click on customer ID and selecting primary key. Then, I have defined first name of customer. And set data type as short text because 255 character are more than enough for first name. I also set value required property, yes, because customer should have first name and system will not allow to enter record of customer without his first name. Then, I define last name, city, address of customer. I have choose data type as short text and required property, no. It means, system will accept the customer record without his last name, address, and city. Then, I have defined email of customer as hyperlink. So, if you click customer email, it will take you Outlook for sending email. Next is mobile number. It is defined as number field and required property is set to yes. Mobile number of customers are required for track the customer. So, value is required for this field. System will not allow to keep it empty. Next is the customer gender. This is the lookup field. You may ask, sir, what is lookup data type? I'll explain. Lookup data type is a field property that allows you to create a list of predefined values for a field. This makes it easier for users to enter data by selecting from a predefined set of options rather than typing the values manually. When you define a field with the lookup data type, you typically specify a list of values or link the field to another table or query that contains the valid values. The field will then display a drop-down list, allowing users to choose from the predefined options. Once you choose lookup data type for gender, it will pop up Lookup Wizard dialog box. Here, you can look up from another table or you can type yourself. This case, choose second option. Click Next. Type the value M and F. Click Next. Next dialog box open. There are two checkbox. One is limit to list and second one is allow multiple value. In this case, we want only value list M and F. So, click limit to list. Customer gender either be male or female. So, uncheck the allow multiple value. System will not user to choose both male and female together. Save the table by clicking the save icon or pressing Ctrl+S. You'll be prompted to give the table a name. Enter customers for this table and click OK. After saving, close the table design view to return to the main database window. Your newly created table should now be visible in the tables list. Congratulations! You've successfully created customers table in Microsoft Access. You should remember that good table design is crucial for efficient data management. In the same way, create tables for products, orders and order details as per the shown data definition and properties. For demonstration purpose, I will show the products table, and order details table. I set validation rule and validation text for MRP field and products table. Similarly, for discount and stock field too. All these fields cannot be negative. Now, it is time to show how system is restricting user to fill in wrong data. For this purpose, we will check it by keeping first name field in customer table empty. See, system will not allow you to go to next record. One more important thing that you have to keep in your mind is that, when you defining any field as foreign key, then its data type should be exactly same of primary key field. For example, data type of primary key customer ID in customer table and foreign key customer ID in order table should be same, otherwise system will not allow to establish relationship between these table. I will teach you how to establish relationship between tables in the next tutorial. If this tutorial is helpful to you, then please like, share and subscribe. I will catch you in next tutorial. Till then, bye bye.